Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we will be doing the second part of the lesson, Tales of Young Gandhi. I hope you have been reading the first part because I have a short revision to do before I move on to the second part. A warm welcome to those who watch my videos frequently. And like I said in the last lesson, I would like to thank you for your support. And if you are new here, welcome. I'm Melaine from English Made Easy. I'm an English teacher, and this channel is dedicated to creating easy and interesting lessons so that you can improve your English in an enjoyable way. If you need help with your English language and literature lessons, you are in the right place. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. The subscribe button is right there. If you subscribe to my channel, you will get regular updates when I post a new lesson like this one. And I'm sure you are here because that is what you need. I have several multiple choice questions to help you as well. Have you watched the first part of the lesson? If you haven't, then I suggest you do that first before you watch this part. Here is an easy link to it. Do watch the first part and then come back to this video when you're done with that. I did find some words that you might find hard to understand, and I have written them with their meanings at the bottom of each part of the text. And like I did in the first part of the lesson, I will also be doing the vocabulary separately at the start of the lesson to help you understand the words better. So if you think you don't need help with those words, then you can move on to the text and leave that out. But I suggest that you don't. Please go through every part of the video if you want to get maximum benefit from it. Alright? And I assure you that today's words are not as many as there were in the first part. There are just about 6 new words, I think. So it's not going to take that long. When we go to the part of the text, I will read and explain the text to you and ask you several oral questions to help you understand it better. So do not skip any part of that text. You will be able to improve your reading, your comprehension, your pronunciation, your spelling, and every aspect of English. And if you have this lesson in English literature, it's going to help you with that as well. At the end of the lesson, I have some multiple choice questions for you to answer. And yes, every time you answer the question right, there is some reward for you, like there was in the first part. But do keep a pen and notebook ready so that you can write your answers down, because I want to give you a time limit for each answer just to make things a little more interesting. And I assure you that by the end of this lesson, you would have understood this part very well. Provided you watch the entire video without skipping parts in between. And provided you have done your homework by reading the first part of the text several times, and then today you promise to read the second part of the text several times. Not just loudly does help, but also silently to yourself. The more you read it, the better. You will suddenly discover things that you have not discovered before. So do keep reading. Let's begin now. So here's the revision that I told you about. Let's see how many of these answers you can get right. This is all based on the first part of the lesson. So if you have read the first part well, you will get all these answers right. Shall we try them? Gandhi was dash years old when his family moved to dash. Gandhi was 7 years old when his family moved to Rajkot. He found dash challenging. Geometry. Dash had to be learnt by heart. Sanskrit. He almost switched to Persian. I hope you got these answers right. Now let's move on. So your first new word for today is shirked. Shirked. She stayed up late to work on the assignment because she did not want anyone to think that she had shirked her duties. Guess what do you think it means? When you hear a sentence, it becomes easier to guess the meaning of the word, doesn't it? So, what do you think it means? Let's see if you guessed it right. Shirked means avoid or neglect. Did you guess it? And now I want to request you to make a sentence with the word shirked. You can change it to shirks, shirk, or use shirked as it is. Okay, here's your next new word, fit. And this is a really easy word, isn't it? Jogging keeps you fit. What does fit mean? Fit means in good health. Did you guess it? I'm sure you did. Okay, it's your turn. Please make a sentence with the word fit. Done? Great. The next new word is robust. Robust. The fireman got the job because he looked robust. So, what do you think that means? Easy to guess, I'm sure. Did you guess it? Strong and healthy. If you guessed it, very good. And now, make me happier. Make a sentence with the word robust. All right, great. Your next new word is earnest. Have you heard the word earnest before? The teacher allowed her to submit her assignment late as she had always been earnest. What do you think it means? The teacher allowed her to submit her assignment late as she had always been earnest. Let's see if you guessed it. Earnest means sincere. So, aren't teachers like that? If you have always been sincere and you have submitted things on time, and then one day you have a problem and you go to your teacher and you say, I'm sorry, I can't submit it on time. Will she listen to you? Of course she will. Please make a sentence with the word earnest. Okay, your next new word is awful. There was an awful smell coming from the barn. Do you think it was a good smell or a bad smell? It's a barn, remember. I hope you know what a barn is, where food grain is stored and you find animals too, like you can see in the picture. So, do you think it would be a good smell or a bad smell? Awful means very bad. I hope you guessed it. And it's your turn now to make a sentence with the word. I hope you managed it. Here's another new word, and it is prompted. Prompted. The boy sat down to pray after being prompted to do so. So the boy did not sit down and pray by himself. I mean, he didn't think of it himself. So what does prompted mean? He only did it after he was prompted to do so. And prompted means encouraged. Please make a sentence with the word prompted. Or prompt, prompts. And now we'll move on to the second part of the lesson. In high school, my headmaster Dorabji Edulji Gimi made gymnastics, football and cricket compulsory for us. Compulsory meaning mandatory. That means you cannot get away with it. You have to do gymnastics, football and cricket. I shirked from them, meaning avoided or neglected them. Why? Gandhiji did not like to play games because it was my shyness once again that haunted me on the playground as well. If you remember what we did in the first part of the lesson, Gandhi was very shy. He was so shy that he did not want to even talk to his classmates or schoolmates. So here's more proof that he was too shy. He was so shy that he did not want to go to the playground and play these games that were actually compulsory. Now imagine if your headmaster or your principal or your gymnastics teacher or your games teacher or your PE teacher has made something compulsory for you and you escape them. You keep making excuses. You say, I'm not well, or I have to run an errand, or you escape. You say, I need to go to the bathroom and I'm using the washroom, I have a headache, and you escape what they have made compulsory. What do you think they would feel? How do you think they would react to you? Well, they cannot say, no, you're not well, you're telling lies. But they will keep it in their minds. They will know that you are probably trying to shirk, probably trying to neglect what you're supposed to do or avoid what you're supposed to do because you can't be sick all the time. Later, I came to realize that physical training is as important as mental training. So Gandhi grew up a little and then understood that actually physical training was really important. It was as important as mental training. Physical training meaning making your body strong, your muscles, your bones is as important as making your mind strong. I read that regular long walks in the open air were good for health, so I formed a habit of it which kept me fit and robust. When he realized that it was very important to have some form of physical training, he started going for long walks in the open air because he had read that it was good for health. He started going for walks and he made it a habit. Habit means he did it regularly, and that kept him fit and robust, in good health and strong and healthy. One day, I wanted to skip gymnastics and rush home to attend to my ill father. So, one day, what happened? Gandhi's father was really sick. So, he wanted to go home and look after his sick father. In order to do that, he would have to skip gymnastics. And I hope you remember that gymnastics is now compulsory. The headmaster has made gymnastics compulsory, and Gandhi has already been missing those classes, making excuses. Now he really has a reason to miss it. What do you think the headmaster is going to do? Will he be happy about it? Or will he think that this is just another excuse? My earnest request to leave school early was not accepted by Mr. Gimme. Just like any other teacher, Mr. Gimme also thought that Gandhi was just making another excuse. He wanted to escape gymnastics, so he was making excuses. So he did not allow him to leave. Then the following Saturday, there was a compulsory gymnastics class at 4 o'clock. 4 in the evening, they had a compulsory gymnastics class. I had no watch and I miscalculated the hour. So Gandhi says he had no watch. Because he had no watch, he miscalculated the time and he missed that gymnastics class. By the time I reached school, all the boys had left. They had finished with the class and the boys had already left. So he says, oh no, just my luck. Bad luck, really bad luck. The next day, what happens? Now you can imagine what Mr. Gimme is going to think about this, or his teachers are going to think. It's always the same thing. He wants to make excuses, miss gymnastics, right? They're not going to listen to any excuses that he makes now. So, Mohandas, stop lying about your absence. But, sir, nothing doing. I refuse to believe you. Just pay your fine of 1 or 2 annas and be done with it. So, what happens? His teacher says, Mohandas, you're telling a lie. But he's trying to explain, but, sir, but the teacher says, nothing doing. I'm not going to listen to any of your excuses. I refuse to believe you. Just pay your fine of 1 or 2 annas. He had to pay a fine. What was the fine? 1 or 2 annas, which was quite a lot in those days, and be done with it. Despite my other flaws, I never ever lied to my teachers. He said, yes, I had faults. What faults? I would make fun of my teachers. I would not study as hard as I needed to. I would escape games because I hated to be on the playground. I would never mix with my schoolmates because I was too shy. But there was one thing that I never did, and that was I never ever lied to my teachers. And yet, I failed to prove my innocence. That was a good quality he had. He never told a lie, and yet his teachers could not believe him. To me, the act of cheating was awful. It was a very bad thing to cheat. For the high school examination, we had to write 5 words as a spelling exercise. You know how you have spelling tests? So Gandhi had a spelling test, and there were 5 words he had to write. All the other boys spelled every word correctly, as Mr. Giles, the supervisor, encouraged cheating. So, you know why everyone got all 5 words right? They got all 5 words right because Mr. Giles was the supervisor and he allowed them all to cheat. So they all got every word right. Now, what do you think about Gandhi? Do you think that he cheated even though the supervisor would have allowed it? I couldn't spell kettle. You know what a kettle is, you boil tea in it. I couldn't spell kettle, and in fact, I spelled every word wrong. Understandable, right? Knowing what Gandhi is like. So he got every single word wrong. Why? I refused to be prompted, he said. He did not allow the supervisor to help him. I still had deep respect for Mr. Giles as I did for all my teachers and elders. He's saying now, despite what Mr. Giles did, he encouraged cheating. He allowed all his classmates to cheat and get all the words right, which was really wrong. See, he says here, isn't he there to prevent us from copying? But he allowed everyone to copy and cheat. But that did not mean that Gandhi had any less respect for him. He still respected him because he was a teacher, he was an elder. He still respected all his teachers and elders. Are you ready? I hope your book and pen is ready. Let's go through it fast. Dorabji Edulji Gimmi, was the principal PE teacher or headmaster? The right answer? Headmaster. Like I said in the first part, do not write the entire word in your book. Write A, B, or C. Okay, that'll go faster. And did you get headmaster right? Well, if you did, that's your reward. Thumbs up. Ready for the next one? The headmaster made football, gymnastics, and dash compulsory. Was it soccer, table tennis, or cricket? Cricket is the right answer, and if you got it right, that's for you. Ready for the third one? Later, Gandhi realized that physical training is as important as eating, mental training, running. The right answer? Mental training. That's for you if you got it right. Gandhi missed gymnastics because he miscalculated the time. He went for a movie with his friends. His father called him home. The right answer? He miscalculated the time. There. Ready for the next? The headmaster asked Gandhi to eat cabbage. Wow, stand in a corner as punishment or pay a fine. Pay a fine is the right answer. And if you got it right, here's what you get. Gandhi was the only student who got all his spelling words wrong, could play football very well, or got permission to skip the gymnastics class. The right answer? Got all his spelling words wrong. Did you get it right? Okay, if you did, that's for you. And with that, we've come to the end of today's lesson. So, what do you think? Was the lesson easy to understand? Did you enjoy it? If you did, please don't leave without hitting that like button. And if you know of anyone who might benefit from viewing this video, do share it with that person. I would be happy to help as many people as I can. Like I said earlier, do remember to read the text over and over again if you want to do well in English literature. And if you need help with anything, do mention it in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope to see you in the next lesson because I will be doing a brief summary of the entire lesson with the help of pictures So, if you found the lesson hard to understand, you might want to watch the summary to get a clearer picture of it, a brief idea of it. So, let's meet again in the next video and get a gist of the entire lesson. Until then, take care and bye.